Thank you, Senator Moran. And Senator Kim has very kindly agreed to allow Senator Moreno to skip in front of him in line since Senator Moreno has to preside on the Senate floor. So thank you, Senator Kim, and I recognize Senator Moreno.
Thank you, Senator Kim, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be less harsh on you in the pickleball court. But thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mrs. Isaacman, for putting up with this double take process. I'm sure having a great supportive spouse has been critical in your life, like it's been for mine. Mr. Isaacman, as the administration looks to accelerate Golden Dome and strengthen national security space capabilities, how do you see NASA and the U.S. Space Force better coordinating their work in power, propulsion, communications, and hypersonic missile testing, especially given the unique test environments at places like Armstrong Test Facility to avoid duplication and move faster?
Thank you for the question, Senator. Clearly NASA's job is the peaceful exploration of air and space. It's also not lost on us that this is a domain that is of great strategic importance, and I do think in a fiscally constrained environment it is important that we are not having duplicate infrastructure or various bespoke programs when we could have a more unified approach to it. So, for example, a lot of the work that is done both at Glenn and Marshall Space Flight Center with nuclear has applications for peaceful exploration of space, surface power programs, but also Department of War implications. And I'd hope that we could collaborate at least with some of our counterparts in other agencies, again, to avoid any duplicative spending or inefficient application of resources.
That's great. Speaking of nuclear, at NASA Glenn Research Center, we're leading the development of a 100-kilowatt lunar fission reactor. How should NASA build on this leadership in nuclear power and propulsion to ensure that the U.S. stays ahead in returning to the moon and reaching Mars?
Well, Senator, I love that question. I think NASA is funded by the taxpayers to do the near impossible. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, what no other agency or organization or even company is capable of doing or dares to do. I think NASA should be evolving to work on grand, almost mini Manhattan Project nuclear programs that have the benefit for surface power applications, especially when you're out of sunlight or you're undertaking discovery missions, let's say past Mars, for example, or even actually on the surface of Mars for manufacturing propellant. So I think there is this working, whether it's on nuclear electric propulsion, nuclear thermal propulsion, surface power programs, there is a ton of applications that NASA should be working on in that regard. And when NASA does work on the near impossible, what no one else is doing, it attracts the kind of talent that wants to participate in those programs and achieve these kind of, I guess, world-changing breakthroughs.
I appreciate that, and look forward to having you and hosting you in Cleveland at NASA Glenn. Very easy trip from home, so I won't keep him long. He'll be home for dinner after he comes and visits, as opposed to Texas, really far away. It's a very out-of-your-way trip to go down there, but Cleveland right around the corner. Mr. Haines, the U.S. depends on specialized aerospace supply chains. What is your plan to strengthen domestic component manufacturing and reduce reliance on Chinese suppliers?
Thank you for that question, Senator, and thank you again for meeting with me yesterday. I appreciated the time and hearing what your priorities are. I would say three things. One is the role of industry analysis is to support a wide variety of trade policies. We are currently conducting a number of different investigations, or supporting a number of different investigations, like Section 232s, 301s at USTR. And as a part of that, we are understanding what these supply chains are, where they head, and how to create the incentives to bring those back here to the United States. We're meeting with industry regularly. Our Deputy Assistant Secretary for Manufacturing was just at the Dubai Air Show. He's met with Boeing. He's met with a number of different aviation companies, understanding what their needs are and coming up with creative solutions to bring that back here to America.
Perfect. And last question, you do obviously a lot of data. I mean, your job is to really make certain that people understand what the set of circumstances are. Others opine and make decisions, et cetera. Would it be possible, without President Trump's policies, for us to have gone from 51% of the cars sold in America being made in America at the beginning of this calendar year to where we are right now, which is at 57% and climbing of the cars sold in America being made in America? Without President Trump's policies, would that 6-point swing in less than a year have been possible?
No, Senator.
Thank you. No questions.